Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sister Circle with Wyntis and On. I love seeing On. Salty Chef, we see you talking mess up there in that chat. What's up, Salty Chef and Taz Montana? Thank y'all. And let me see, I don't know who else is on here. Sarah, hey, y'all get to share with us because while we share real quick, we sharing. Y'all know how we do for the first couple minutes. We got to share, get our little share game on real quickly, real quickly.
Get it sexy. Get
Get
it
it
sexy.
sexy. Oh, we about to get ratchet tonight, then, Anna. Okay, then. They don't know nothing about that. Our kids gonna say, "Oh, they too old." Mama, what you know about sexy red? Girl, I taught sexy red what to do. You better go on somewhere and sit down. You better go on somewhere. Hey, Dr. Padroni. He said, just don't do any excessive clapping. Dr. Padroni, listen, you can't come, Dr. Padroni, because as soon as you clap or snap or do anything else, you gonna get put out because he already don't like you. You're not from here. I don't have to even listen to anything that you say. You know, you got a whole 2 minutes dedicated to you. What's up, free daddy? Beverly Myers, look, she done wrote it up in here. On, I got. Hey, Melissa, Lenora, Retha, and the five others that are watching. I can't see who you are, but hello. Please share with us. Let me get to the other page and share. I gotta make sure I share everywhere. Share and share alike, because that's what we do. We do over here. We share. Because we want everybody to be in the circle of love.
Get your merch. Get your merch. Get your merch.
Yes, make sure you get your ATM merch. Everybody rocking ATM merch today on Sister Circle. I got the hat, the sweatshirt. Anna got the shirt sitting behind her, the mug sitting behind her. She got on her hall monitor shirt. Go to www.beyouti, the number 5.com, and get your A10 merchandise. I'm telling y'all, there's nothing else better out there. You don't need Versace. You don't need Gucci. You just need A10. And I'm telling you to grab it right now where you can get it on the low low. Because as soon as that ink dry on that nationwide deal, sweatshirt's going for $125. Ain't that right, Mick? I see. I when it come to money, Mickey's gonna agree.
Gonna be some
Anna,
Kurt
what's going
Tiger.
on in DC? Is it
Ooh,
nice? The weather nice there? Hey, Miss Rose.
it's
Everybody else.
cloudy. It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Oh, Taz, aka Tanya, is the same person. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Go Gladys. Go Gladys. Connie. Okay. Okay. Once you win the lottery, Melissa, you didn't. Uh-oh. Ronald talking to you. I don't know what he's saying, Anna. He said, ¿Qué pasa, Anna?
He said, "What's happening, Ana? ¿Qué
Ah.
pasa? ¿Cómo está? Que la cosa está bien. Nosotros está en la casa."
Te gusta el fútbol. What I say, Anna? That's the only thing I learned when I was
That
this.
you like football.
Te gusta jugar el fútbol. Now, do you like to play football?
Look, Padroni said, "What the?" We roll our R's. I'm Puerto Rican. We roll our R's for everything.
Arr. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I am tagging people now to come on in the room. So Anna, go on and talk to the people while I'm tagging this stuff. Go on and talk to them, girl.
Well, we
Talk
gonna
to.
want me to talk about what we said we want to talk about.
Oh, you can talk about what we're gonna talk about, or you can just open up. Tell us what the weather is like, what people doing on the streets before we get all deep into it. Give us something from DC. What's going on in the DMV world, Anna?
Well, we just finished our cherry blossom, so Japan had donated cherry blossoms They're in different states, but in here, it's a huge thing. They do a parade, they do an event, and it just finished last Sunday. But they're real pretty because they bloom.
Uh-huh.
But if you have allergies, woo, you gonna feel it. You gonna feel it. And I
Okay.
live close to downtown, so I
Mhm.
literally can smell it, and I can actually walk and go see it. Um,
Mm.
if I chose to walk, most of the time, honest driving out the city.
Okay. Okay.
I mostly do a lot out of this city. Like I'll drive to VA or I'll drive to Maryland to get my things. Parking is horrible in DC, and you got to pay, or you can get towed, ticketed. I'm actually a part of a class lawsuit right now that they're making this guy because actually when they ticket and boot you in DC, they're not supposed to tow your car until you've been in court. So legally,
Booted. They boot the stuff in
yeah,
DC?
they take your car or they'll boot it.
Mm.
You're not supposed to tow it until you've been, according to the law, you're supposed to be able to go in front of court or be able to, you know what I mean,
Okay.
adjudicate it before they make the decision.
Look, there go Tony
They ain't
again.
got the they ain't got
Anna. I got everybody saying Anna with the Van Gogh in the background. Did I say it right? Anna. Van
Mhm.
Gogh. Van Gogh.
Starry Night is the name of it. Starry Night.
Starry Night. What's up, Jade?
It's actually like a starry night tonight because it's cloudy.
Taz said, "Do you like the go-go music, Anna?"
It's funny because I came here in October. Matter of fact, I moved to DC October 15th, 1995. The Million Man March was going on literally when I moved to DC.
Mm.
Um, and where I live at, literally around the corner, is where they started this huge thing called Don't Mute DC. And it's
Mhm.
basically the newcomers, the newbies, the gentrifiers want to take go-go away. And so it's a place on the corner where they play go-go right by Howard University. It's a huge thing. They tried to stop the music, but it wasn't until I say about 4 years, and I've been here for a minute. It wasn't until 4 years ago my girlfriend was like, "Come on, you need to go to a go-go." And I would hear the music, but when I started going to go-go's, and I've been here a long time. When I started literally going to go-go,
Mhm.
can't take me away from it now. Because I'm Puerto Rican, we play the congo, so it's like the. So it's like the beat, the drum. I mean, it takes you.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when I first moved here, the guys would be outside with pots and pans banging on them by the train stations.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
deep.
I mean, I guess it's an experience. So when I come to DC, we're gonna have to go to a go-go club. Do they still got
Yeah,
that club there called Dream with the three levels?
if they did,
Yeah,
they
this was
you
back
know,
in the early 2000s. So
it's
that's
probably
20
gone.
some years ago. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah, it's
closed by
gone.
now. So Anna, let's we go on and jump into it. Let the people know what we're talking about tonight.
Well, tonight we're talking about, well, just let me get myself together. So, like Mickey said it earlier, I think it was yesterday. We laugh, we see 810 recording the city council, and we laugh. But sometimes this shit, excuse my French,
Hmm.
makes you want to cry.
Right.
And when I watched Miss Elizabeth Taylor
Hmm.
get accused of punching
Mm, mm, mm.
um, Paul, I didn't want to say nothing mean because I'm trying to do this respectfully.
Right.
My insides start even because I'm not there. So imagine you there, you can feel it even more.
Hmm.
Um, but the irritating part was just watching Liddell scream. I just too assaulted, and she's screaming that she punched him. Um, a resident just punched another resident. Like she's screaming for the police to run, like it's so bad, like someone's going to die. The way she was screaming.
Right.
And this is scary living in DC because in DC, when and anywhere, when you call the police and you say that there's an assault, their whole thing is to start their training. Sometimes goes out the window, but they're there to stop in any way, forcibly to stop what's going on. And this is an 80-year-old woman
Hmm.
who faithfully goes up there.
Hmm.
Our conversation today is it's not about that, but it's the fact, how dare we not
Right.
go down there and have an 80-year-old woman constantly going over there to do the fight. The civil rights, half of the people that did the civil rights that marched in Washington, these people are leaving. They're dying. A lot of them have left.
Mhm.
It's time for the younger generation. Gen X is my generation. The conversation is, how do we get millennials and Gen Zs to get involved without the bureaucracy
Right.
and really get them to come down and see that their voice really can work. Like we always say, oh, that's what they did a long time ago. That stuff don't work. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It still does. Some things are broken. Some things need to be changed. But I am tired of seeing Elizabeth Taylor, Sister Audrey, Beverly Biggs. I am tired of seeing the same ones. I'm saying her name wrong. The one with the water that Sister Audrey recorded the other day. I've been watching her. I've been looking at articles and reading about her. The
Claire
one that,
McClinton.
yes, Claire McClinton.
Okay.
Um, I'm tired of the same ones getting on that mic. And it's like, how dare we? How dare we? I think about us on Clubhouse. And there's a lot of Gen Zs in Clubhouse that talk.
Mhm.
But a lot of them are not in Flint. They live in other states.
Mhm.
You know, we have people in New Orleans, you have New Jersey, you have people from other places. But what's it going to take? What's it going to take? Is it the people that work with the education, with the youth? Do y'all need clack? I challenge you. Bring some of those high school kids in as part of a class learning civil, their rights, learning his government, how it works. Bring them in. Let them testify. Let them write a testimony. And someone else can read it for them if they're scared.
Mhm.
It has to stop. It has to stop. Even the universities around.
You're
It has
right.
to stop.
You're absolutely right, Anna. Um, I was sitting there, when she started screaming, uh, a resident is assaulting another resident. A resident is assaulting another resident. And, at that point, I'm looking all around, like, what's going on? I'm trying to see. I'm looking for
Where's the assault?
two people to to start scrapping. And I'm like, Miss Taylor hit Paul? Like, no, I'm not hearing this right. I'm not seeing this right. And then to see the police come up,
Mm-hmm.
that was horrific. And they sat there. And, I'm talking about the council people
Right.
and just it looked like they wanted something to happen. It actually looks like they incite the violence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Until one day somebody is going to get hurt down there. But for what threw me back was Paul calling her a bitch.
Mm.
That was so disrespectful.
I believe in
I
karma.
don't
I'm sorry. I
I
believe in karma.
don't know if I could ever look past that. Like, I have spoken to Paul, we have had conversations. I really haven't had an issue with Paul, but he has disrespected a elder. I just someone that's old enough to be his mother. And I believe he said, "You stupid bitch."
Yeah, he did. It's in Sister Audrey's recording. You can hear it.
That was horrific. And for someone to be, I call him a city employee because he works for the city. He records those meetings. I don't know if he's employed for the council meetings, but he's employed for the ENA board and the other little meetings that happening. So is this acceptable behavior for a city employee to call a senior a stupid bitch at that? If it was any other town in the United States, in my opinion, I believe Monday the council chambers would be packed. But
Mm-hmm.
Flint, you will see the same people there standing up for her. and I don't know what to do, that's why we had the International Martin Luther King group of community leaders on last night, bringing that group to Flint, because it's powers in numbers, right? And we have to, like you say, engage our young people. We have to give them something to look forward to, because this right here is not acceptable. And we got to engage them, and we got to engage more, not only the youth, but we got to engage more men. I seen Dr. Padroni put up a comment um earlier that said, one said council person will stand with the gun, but he wouldn't stand up for an 80-year-old woman. That's sad. When they all just sat there and looked. And you think about it, Anna, even if she punched him with all of her might, what was it going to do to him?
Nothing. Nothing.
When you watch the video in slow motion, when you watch it in full speed, he came, he would, it wouldn't take much to knock her off her balance.
If they was in Florida, self-defense, because you see how he got in her face.
Yeah, he did.
So technically, I mean, she didn't even touch him. It looked like she moved her hand to say, please, you're too close to me. Because her hand's going like this to get away.
Yeah, like, like move back. Right.
Yeah. And if you watch him prior to that, he ran up 3 times. He ran up the first time to the right side when the lady walked up to the microphone. Then he follows everybody back with his phone camera to get a good TikTok. Mm-hmm. Then he runs back up to sit on the left side. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching him, he's literally casing that room with his own camera. If you're supposed to be in charge of recording, why are you not back there watching what you're recording?
Girl, he had that up on YouTube within 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
He had it up, posted. And, when they sit there and they talk about certain media groups making money off of TikToks, that's him. That's not us. That's him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. But we're going to get more people engaged. We are going to get more people involved. Like I said yesterday, it's time out for us to quit talking about it and be about it. Quit sitting back waiting for others to come in and save us. And we got to learn how to save ourselves. But I do, 810, the International Martin Luther King League of Community Leaders. We welcome everyone. And that group is in 29 states. Sign up.
Yep.
Because the backup got backup. We got backup. Headquarters in Detroit.
The DC chapter.
See,
I'll be on that meeting.
And we're going to get this going, because this is unacceptable. I'm tired of asking, where are all the other groups at? What are they going to do? I'm done with that. Now it's on me. What am I going to do? What are we going to do here in Flint? We need to stand up and get stuff done. So, Anna, back to you.
So I got a question for everyone in the chat. What are some ideas from other people's perspective, how to get the youth to come out and participate? And wait till people answer. I like what Ronald said. We do need more brown people. We do need more Latinas and Latinos.
I like how you say that. Latinas and Latinos. Make it a mandatory assignment. College credits, extra credit, volunteer points.
That volunteering thing right there. I don't know about, and here in DC, you have to have 100, I think 100, don't quote me. It's a lot of hours you have to have before you graduate. I don't know if it's 25 hours per 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, but you have to have a certain amount of hours to graduate. I don't know if Flint has that, but that is a great way to start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do we get our young people? What's that Taz said? How do we get our young people interested in politics? we gotta change from, in my opinion, I could speak like from here in
Yes.
Flint. We gotta change what they're used to. They're used to seeing Uncle so and so and Aunt so and so and Mr. and Miss so and so just doing enough to get by, just getting in it for the money, taking millions here, but leaving crumbs over here.
Hmm.
They don't see politics as a way to help people. They see politics as just a money grab.
5 minute fame. Get on somebody's
Yeah,
campaign.
that's it. And we see a lot of our local leaders and politicians here, we don't see them until it's election season. And then you get tired of looking at them. And you ask yourself, where have you been the last 2, 3, or 4 years? And now you want to pop up all of a sudden because you want people to vote for you. We have to change, I think, change the way politics is viewed.
Yeah. Well, I think we did have that because if you look, not to bring the presidents,
Mm,
when Trump got in office, he changed the narrative on how we speak because everything was so proper. And you really didn't really know how a candidate really truly felt inside. You just knew the punchline.
mhm,
They give you the punchline when they're running. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But when Trump came in office, and this ain't to give Trump no kudos or nothing, he literally came in with alternative facts,
mhm,
alternative truth. Doesn't mean it's the truth, but it's truth to him. And he came in full. He actually debated a lot of the people when they were debating him and saying, "Well, you get money from this," and he said, "Those are the same people you get money from," and they had to pause because he was exposing them.
mhm.
So I think it has changed because people, but that's what the young people like. They like when you bring out the hidden stuff, like the bones in the closet, bring it out on the candidate. So
Yeah.
I feel like candidates now they need to be ready.
Can you put up some in the comments for us? Somebody said you got to flip the field. Somebody else said you got to meet them where they are. All true facts. Their attention is tied, just what you were saying, Anna. Their attention is tied to trends and quick facts. Have to make the info that let's go. But you have to be able to, like break it down to them.
Hmm.
You don't have to speak so eloquently and use all the big words. You will lose your young people like that. Meet them where they are. Let them, and you know what? Young people can spot out fakeness and a lie quicker than we can. They don't want to hear all of these promises and what you're gonna do. Tell them what's going on right now and how you can help them. Have ongoing youth events they enjoy and have local community leaders facilitate. It's just
I
our
say the candidates go get the kids and let them make TikToks for their campaign.
and that's what Big Rich did. She hired some of our local youth and had them make her TikToks. Now that actually happened.
Yeah,
Trump made a lot of people
yes, he
vote.
did.
Trump beat the regular people at their game. But it's funny to me. If Trump, sometimes I think about what if Trump was a black or brown person? Could he be on trial and running for president at the same time?
He, whoever attorneys or whoever had it, they really walked them through how the system is broke. Everything that he did, he has proven that he can do. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's like he's proven I can do anything
Yeah.
because these are things that never been challenged, and half the time stuff is hidden on what our rights are, and we don't search the law. We don't find that as interesting. But why we don't find that as interesting? Because there's a lot going on in our community. Polluted water. I can't. What did she say? 10 years. So every 10-year-old in Flint has never drank from a faucet
Hmm.
or even a hose from outside.
Hmm.
So
Right.
that's a whole generation right there of 10-year-olds
Hmm.
who environment injustice has happened to them.
Right.
So why would they care who's going to be the president
They
or the
they
county?
don't. They don't. And
So
I
there's some
think
things that need to be fixed in order for
absolutely.
them to understand how things can change. But we have to start with them. I feel in elementary school, we have to start with them.
You do. You really do. You really do. You have to, and it's like you don't. It's more, but it's more to it you than just counsel. We have so many, and you hear this over and over again. People concentrate on the big boards like city council and the commissioners and the school board, but you got to think about the other little seats here that we ought to have people placed in, ready to go, and train them up while they're young. Get them interested, like you can make a difference.
Hmm.
You actually can make a difference. Oh, they something as simple as, Mama, I just don't like the 2 lanes that they did on the street. Okay, well, you know what? You can grow up and you can be a legislator. You can work and change the laws. You can make something. You can do something different with this street. Whatever they are interested in, you got to train them up. I it's just I don't know. I really don't have an answer how to get them involved here in Flint because everything is just all over the place.
There's injustices here with water, and it's happening everywhere. But when you don't go to your ANCs, I mean, we have ANC meetings, we have council meetings, we have state board of education meetings, and those meetings be empty, just like Flint be looking. That's how we be looking too, and we in the nation's capital. It be looking empty. It be people from out of state in here more fighting for rights than anyone else. You look at the more of the people that are here, we're political because we have no choice. I mean, you have everything right here in your hand. But as far as participation, it's only when they're running. But after that, you got to fight. Like, you got to go outside and like literally tell people, did you know that the last 6 months while you weren't going to ANC, they just passed it. They're about to put this bike lane. Where you going to park your car at? Y'all
Right.
ain't come down. Now they're all mad. Can't do nothing about it. It already passed.
And I
You got to
think
be
that
ahead of the ball game. You need to be 2 years ahead. Everything's 2 years ahead.
you do. You absolutely do. I like what Minister Timberlake said. Adults haven't been trained.
Yeah.
This is why the children are in the position they're in. And that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Adults haven't been trained. And like coming from a church perspective with Minister Timberlake, like you and this is like, and I know it's kind of off subject, but when you're talking about
Yeah.
the church and like getting the children involved in politics, like how you hear the preacher say we need to get more people involved in church. Well, you got people trying to lead the church that ain't been trained. People trying to pastor that ain't never pastored before.
Yep.
You got politicians. That's the same thing. Like he said, it goes in politics. You trying to jump and run for governor, and you've never been a community leader on anything. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
But people don't like to work their way up. Just as I looked at the video over and over because it was at an angle. So she did touch Paul, but it was in self defense. Yep, I can send you the video. He stood over her and got in her face, and it was in self defense. So he stood up in a very aggressive way. Yep, I seen that.
But it was
I
like this.
seen it.
It was like this. Get away, because he got up in her face. It wasn't like she went like this.
Like no,
Her hand
she
was
didn't
down
touch him.
here.
No. It's like get away from me, and I think that's what she was saying. Like you get
Yeah,
back
because he's
away
right in
from
her
me.
face. We don't know what he said to her when he got up. But if you look at the camera,
We know he's a stupid bitch.
but if you look at that camera, Liddell wasn't even looking. So how did she know that she punched? Her head was down right along with Quincy.
Because Paul said, "Did you just hit me? Did you just punch me?"
So for her to say that, like accurately, that she saw it, like she's a witness to it.
She gets somebody hurt.
Yes.
That could get somebody hurt in the streets. Take that situation and put it in the streets, you could got somebody hurt.
You said it right. She didn't punch him. She tried to push him away. That's what she did. I mean, you're an 80-year-old woman and you got this man in your face.
What Keith said, young people in the communities across the country are not mentally as strong as they should be, and they are taking the lead from adults who also do not get involved.
You're right.
That's very true. Once you have hit the nail on the head, that is why America is in trouble. Too many young politicians who have never learned what they should do and what's best for. Oh, you was calling Winters. Okay. All right. You was trying to say Winters. Well, yeah, that's true. Politicians haven't been trained. It's just people haven't been trained, period.
Well, a lot of them get in position and they become corrupted because they have needs that they haven't got met, and they quickly how the enemy just sends you a gift and how you fall for that little gift. I mean, this is reality. When you get in a position like that, you're going to be offered some corrupted things. But then you also got to be quiet because you can't give too much information, not because you don't want the public to know, because there's a lot of things that come with being in politics. Mm-hmm. But when you hold the people accountable by going and testifying, that will in turn start to tame down, because all you're seeing is anger issues from Eva and Liddell. I mean, Liddell's functioning not from a council person, she's functioning from payback. Right. I'm mad. Mm-hmm. Quincy, I'm mad. I don't even want to answer your concern. I don't even care what your concern is. Some people are not up there to testify and could care less about if you crap on yourself. I'm not trying to be funny. Right. Or they've put the signs up. Some people don't even care about that. They care about the fact that their street still has that pothole. And you want to sit there and argue about Beverly Biggs going up there with a sign. You have lost touch with your position.
Just like I remember Kermit specifically. He specifically went up there to ask, can anyone give us an update on the water settlement? They look right over that. Mm-mm. Nobody said anything about the water except for Jerry Winfrey Carter. Not one council person. Hell, they don't even look at you when you go up there. It's just like, let's just hurry up and get through public speaking so we can just move on.
Yeah, well, that's what they did with Eric. If Eric brought it, Eric was actually there to bring up the things that they did not want us to know. Mm-hmm. And so he would say it in his opening. That's why they wanted to shorten how long he talks. Right. Then they was like, okay, he's gone. They said, who else? Tanya does it. She's very well known for bringing up before it comes out. Mm-hmm. But the one that's real detailed is Pfeiffer. And so that's why they're coming at him harder, because he's detailed and he's very analytical. So he breaks down in numbers. He likes data, and he gives you data. Mm-hmm. And people that are paying attention to what he's saying, that goes over Liddell's head. She's like, oh crap, we got to take him down.
Right.
I believe Priestley's a numbers person. Except with her, she just wants to get whatever she wants to get paid for, and she can care less about anyone else.
And you know, deep down, some of them may care, but they done already took that bait and been reeled in, and they can't do anything about it.
I think Quincy, and it's not, doesn't mean that it's true. I think Quincy be wanting to change at some point, but I think Liddell texts him, remember,
she'll pull that chair over there by him. She ain't got to text him.
We'll go down together if you switch. Mm-hmm. So you remember when she had left the meeting and Quincy was left behind, and when she left, she had said, well, Eric Mays took money, and they were like, he reported it. You didn't. Yeah. You know what? Because she wanted to bring that up. She gets up mad and leaves. Quincy stays behind, and he's real quiet and he's real tame, because his face looks like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I didn't know is what he said out of his mouth. I gotta go find that thing. Okay. He says that out of his mouth. I didn't know. You know what I mean? I was just trying to help my community. And then he says I'm a lobbyist. Remember it's in that one when he says all this. So I really think they pull him back. I feel they pull him back and remind him that we're gonna go down together. You not, we gotta stick together because if not, you gonna go down.
Well, think about it, Anna. We're 40. Well, you older than me because you just turned 48. But let's just think about it. If we were 20, 21, 22, and we went down there and we seen all of that chaos, will we even be interested? At the age, like think back when we were 20, 21, and 22. And I absolutely remember because that's when I was introduced to politics through the current mayor, Sheldon Neely, who took me down there at that tender age. And he's told me that's a show out there. We already know how we going to vote when we get out there. We solicit our votes all during the week, whatever, during the month. We know how we going to vote when we get out there. He told me that. He taught me that when he first became a council person. So I know this really is actually a reality show. Mm-hmm. And you heard Quincy say the other night, we got our votes.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't interested then when he took me down. I'm like, I don't want to be down here with this mess. They've been arguing down there for years.
Wow.
I guess. And people, and so the politicians here, it's the same people. It's recycled over and over again. So you grow up 20, 30, now 47, watching the same people for the last 30 years. Who the hell would be interested in that? When you have seen no change, you have seen nothing but them get better at being more corrupt. They ain't changed nothing. Flint looked like one big ass dumpster.
I was watching a documentary. I think what was it, 1960, when it was a Flint was like fully with the auto industry. The middle class was real huge in the community, especially black families had money. They said in the 1960s. After that, then that's when they started breaking down the auto industry.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm different, Wyntis, because when I was young, like I actually went to Morgan State for political science, and then I ended up getting married and didn't finish.
Okay.
I'm currently in, computer science. I follow politics no matter where I was. I mean, from DC when I first moved.
So you remember Barbara Jordan? You remember that name? My dad used to have me watch her a lot on those political channels. So she was an older lady and she fought for Dr. Padroni. Anybody remember a lady by the name of Barbara Jordan? She was a real fighter.
Is he still in the chat? No, but I mean, I followed DC Council. And I used to literally, when I first moved here, I was probably 20 years old.
Okay.
And I think I was 19 or 20 when I first came. And I would go to the ANC meetings. And I actually was every neighbor I had, it's hilarious, where I lived in DC, was a commissioner for the neighborhood. It just happened that I lived next to the commissioner. Mm-hmm. So I was fully young as I don't know what, all in it. I never ran for a position. I just was always interested, what's going on and giving people information. But at 48, I'm just tired because I'm okay, I've been watching. I do go and testify, and it's now time to get involved. It ain't no bucket list. It's time to get involved.
It is.
I don't want to hit 50 and say I ain't do shit for the cause.
People do remember. I was on the ballot back in my 20s. I was a precinct delegate for.
Michael Clark said, I know who she is.
There was a lot of people on here saying they remember the Texas Senator Barbara Jordan. Okay, I can remember what state she was. Yep. And so Hutchinson. Yes, there's a great documentary on Netflix about Barbara Jordan. I'm gonna go watch it. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna look that up.
Okay. She's from Houston. Okay, Clark. Yeah. Yeah, look that up, Anna, because I want to go watch it too. My dad loved her. He was like, you grow up, I want you to be like Barbara Jordan. I'm like, I just wasn't interested in politics. When you go down there and you see that it's a show, that was when Sheldon told me that it was a show. That was like me finding out from my granddaddy that wrestling was fake. It was like, why you want to be a part of something that's fake? And that's how most of the kids look at this stuff today. They look at it as, okay, you got to do all of this work. You don't get paid enough money. You got to come down here and sit all night. And then you still not making a difference. I mean, you got to learn how to think how the young people think. And we got social media these days.
Hmm.
I can go rap, make me a hot mixtape and make me a couple $1,000s in a month. And don't have to be bothered with all of these people calling me about complaints and stuff. But you got to, it's just something you got to, it's people out there. It's young people out there. You just got to find them.
Yeah.
Just like when I started the page, Flint Politics Reboot. It's people out there that have a voice. You just got to pull it out of them. I remember when Melissa, I think she's on here. I remember when Melissa Zabriskie got started speaking out in Flint politics. And that's what we got to do. We got to go and find them. We got to go to our youth. See, just as I'm 20 years old, Winters Hall, we look at it as if I'm getting my money. Why do I care what happens to everyone else when their lives are up to them? I didn't start caring about politics until 2020. See? Yeah. Ronald said it's great to see a real educated Latina.
Oh, that's why she was the first
You
Southern
inspire my family and friends. Mucho gracias, Ana. Oh. Okay.
I don't like they did on Obama's campaign. Si se puede. That's
What you
yes, we can. Si
Yeah,
se
okay.
puede. Yes, we can. Now I was looking up Barbara Jordan. She was on the House of Representatives. That's probably why. Um, she was an attorney and an American lawyer and an educator.
And then we think about it here in Flint, and I don't know how it is in DC, Anna, but you do have some younger people. I mean, I don't consider myself to be old, but we do have younger people in politics, and they're not really doing nothing. We got people who classify themselves as young leaders in politics around the city, and we don't see them making a change. With that, the young people are more interested in scat packs, and what we come on here singing "Sexy Red." So I'm serious. So it's like getting them out to vote is a challenge. Getting them to understand that your vote does matter is a
Oh,
challenge.
so according to this, in order for you to be in Senate, it says you can't be under 30. So that explains why there's a lot of older people. So they said for the first time they swore in Henry Clay, who was 29. Um, but they say, I guess in the 1970s, legislative law is 30 years old. So that could be a reason why we see older. But as far as, I don't know how, as far as, well, not with local government, because I think you could be 21.
Well, Del Rico Lloyd, who's now commissioner, Genesee County commissioner, was our youngest council person ever, and I believe he was 22 at the time. What ward was he in? Ward 1 or 2, Mickey? Ward 1.
Okay.
And how can I put it? When you're that young in politics, very smart, very educated man. I love Del Rico, but they talk down. They talk down to you. And Clack knows what I'm talking about because Clack is still young in politics.
Yeah.
They talk to you, they talk by you. They don't talk to you. They talk at you. You know, respect me. I'm old enough. I know what I'm doing. But they don't do that. They don't do that here. And you heard the minister say yesterday. They just It's just like they die with was it yesterday on a call that we had Tuesday? I can't remember. It was one day this week. They die with their knowledge.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of the older people are scared to pass on knowledge to the youth.
It's like that cookbook, grandma made certain things and then she leaves and no one has it written down
Hmm.
how she made, Thanksgiving. Only certain people, if you were little and you sat with her and watched her, but if you didn't, a lot of that food is gone. How grandma might have made her cakes or her, different foods that she would make.
Well,
I think about that. I think about people not, they called them the silent generation for a reason.
what turn that into politics?
Yeah.
Think about politics as a recipe. And if you don't sit and watch how to make it, then you die and nobody else knows how to do it.
I
And
wonder,
we
in school, do they, I don't know, I guess because with my daughters, I talk to them about their rights and stuff. Like as soon as my daughter turned 8, even before then, they would do fake votes. I mean, I'm trying to be funny, fake votes. But in the class, they would vote for who they wanted to be the president. And the kids would debate on why they wanted this president versus this president. And they did that through middle school. And they would even go in and do a whole thing. The school would say on the announcement, this school would want this president or this mayor. Um, but I don't know if they still teach that in the classroom. Um,
I don't know about Flint schools, baby. They just trying to just teach them basic math. Some of the outskirts, I don't know. Clack said he does, but see, Clack said
I do.
he's not.
Yes, he does.
I think
But
he's
it's
in
not
charter
it's
school.
Mac, Michael Clack, but it's not part of the curriculum no more. It's
I
not
don't
under
think I don't
social
think it
studies.
is.
It just said they still teach it.
Chris Caleb, that's true right there. That's true. They believe the game is to be sold, not
So
told, not sold, or sold, not told. Which one, Chris? Former President Obama and Mrs. Michelle Obama brought a respect and responsibility to the White House like Kennedy. When Trump came in, it was all about superiority and money. Trump's all. Hmm. Key said the problem that we have in Houston, those in power now who are black work for Mickey Leland and Barbara Jordan, and they are the gatekeepers that won't step down. And we have that same issue here. We have those old gatekeepers that won't step down.
you're right.
And it's not like we're trying to push you out the way. We just want you to do something or help. Let us help you. But they too scared. Oh, they trying to take over. No, but you're not doing anything. And I'm tired of seeing people complaining, 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 complaining. And we got all of these organizations. But I remember someone saying, how they gonna fight from us when they the ones taking the money from the people that we trying to fight?
Yep.
You? Mickey said, who said that? You? You said that.
Tamia Brown, am I saying her name right? Tamaya or Tamia? Tamia Brown says, hate to say this, but some of these young folks think they know everything and don't listen to the elders. I agree with that to a certain extent. I just think they communicate so different. And so they shut. I can only go by my children and kids I've been around. They shut down. They don't want to. They be like, "You doing too much."
Right.
I be like, "What does that mean?" And you start to break down the slang. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Okay, what you're saying is that I'm all in your space, and that's not what you want to do right now."
Tamaya. She
Tamaya.
broke it down in syllables for
I like that, Tamaya.
Tamaya. It's like my baby Tamaya. Clack says some of them are trying to push out the way. Nowadays, us younger folks know more than the elders. We have internet. Y'all have experience. That's true. And you can
I had
come
an
and get
encyclopedia.
and right. We grew up on encyclopedias, but that internet is a powerful tool.
Mm.
And if
To a
you
certain
have
extent, it's powerful because kids run real quick. My daughter does it. Well, Google says it, and you see that Google
mm-hmm.
just because it's on the internet.
Don't mean it's
Don't
true.
mean it's true.
Right.
Just because some scholar said this, it could be a scholarly article, does not mean it's true.
Hmm.
It's an interpretation, unless it's fact, which is hardly hard to prove.
Hmm. And
So
Karma Lewis, she's big in the community here, and she's right. Elders want things done their way, and that's true.
yeah, well, we didn't have a lot of choices when we were growing up. It was like same thing with food. You had to eat what was cooked. So if you look at the mindset of this is what I cook, this is what I'm eating, but there was other reasons as to why those rules were they were. Not for everyone's household. You had to eat when mom cooked, or what we're eating this. Sometimes you had to eat the same thing 4 days out the week, but it was a reason for that.
Hmm.
I feel my generation we have gave in. What do you want to eat? No, what you want. So this one gets this one gets that, and
Right.
so we've given them choices, which I don't believe the generations behind us or even our generation had choices. We
No, either you're
were
gonna eat
given,
this or you're gonna be hungry.
yeah.
That was my choice.
And there was nothing wrong with that because I, it's not wrong either way. And there's nothing wrong with because it showed you self-discipline, like I'm gonna eat what's in the house. Sometimes I think it was actually more healthier to eat more in the house than it is what we're eating out here. You know, telling what
You
they put in
sound like
there.
Mickey.
We ate beans and rice. Yeah, well, I ate rice and beans all the time. Arroz con bichuela all the time.
Otis Johnson said the FBI was in Dalton today and maybe Flint is next. And sometimes it seems to me like here in Flint, they just want us to eat each other up and then
Yeah.
we'll just be done. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Oh, what is this gnat that keep flying around, Mickey? I ain't see it until you came in here.
You brought them Pampers in there. That's why.
The peppers. Shut up, Mickey. Shut up. You need to take.
Oh my God, them Pampers.
That was horrible. That was horrible. But the Pampers was a guest star. But I didn't talk about what she said that was done with the Pampers. I just brought them in and was talking about council was a shit show because it was a shit show
It
this
was
week,
a shit show.
and it's gonna be even worse. But it's sad because knowing that Councilman Mays, he said all of this. He actually wrote the book on how
Yeah.
everything was gonna go. Oh, Dr. Padroni said the flies from the old studio have found you. The holy moly donut shop flies have found us.
You said the Pampers with the sunglasses.
The holy moly donut shop. Welcome to 18 News Media Group Studio. This beautiful studio, just flying out the flies. So, Anna, what else is going on?
I don't have they had well, I remember y'all saying has have they had any events with the is it two candidates or three candidates I heard that are for Ward 9?
They said, huh? It's supposed to be coming. I haven't seen the flyer yet, but it's supposed to be coming up. And as soon as we should see it more and more as it gets closer. ATN's gonna be there. We're gonna go
Uh,
to. We also gonna go to that thing that Davina's having next week. We're gonna go to that too and see what difference she got to say that she didn't say it when she was at the church. I mean, you created the madness.
I know, like you said, she should go back and mail out the correct information, but that's going to add even more confusion. So let me ask you this to make sure that everyone knows and it's correct. So with Ward 7, we do know that Jamboree is running for Ward 7.
Mhm.
Will she be on the ballot in May?
No, the only thing in May is the ninth ward.
Just the ninth ward.
The ninth ward, and
So
that is.
any campaigning going on with Ward 7?
You said, is it any campaign going on? Yeah,
Campaigning, meaning like,
yeah. They're campaigning now. They're
okay.
actively campaigning now because they have a primary in August and then a general in November.
Okay, now with Ward 1, are they doing anything specific with Ward 1? Are you aware of? Only two candidates I know is Rose Morrow and then earlier, Carolyn McIntosh.
Okay, what'd you say, Mick? Oh, Mickey said it's about 7 or 8 people running for the first ward.
That's a lot of people. I hope
That's a whole lot of people. That and so
that scares me, and it's not to knock anyone. That scares me
it
because
should
with
scare
too
you.
many people running, will the
That's
votes
never
go
good.
out? Yeah, and then sometimes,
And then that one that you want slips in, that you don't want slips in.
slips
That's what
in.
happens. And that's why I wish that we could get, together as a community. And you may really want it this time,
Yeah,
but this may not be your time, and that's
well,
okay.
start the questioning. Like, how do they
Right.
really see things? And
Right.
then you can, as an agreement.
But I
You know
think,
what I mean?
the candidates shouldn't pick. Let the residents pick.
The residents. That's what I'm saying. Not
Right.
not the candidates. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't live there. Two of them interest me. Rose Merrill's actually my first pick.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Okay.
And then my next will be Carolyn McIntosh.
Okay.
Um, Not saying that Carolyn McIntosh is not good for Ward
I
One or
understand
Rose
what you're
Merrill's
saying.
ahead. I'm just going by the interactions. So I need to hear more about, but I don't live in Flint. So you know what I mean? But I want to hear more about, like, how do you deal with policing in the neighborhood? How do you deal with food disparities in the neighborhood? How do you deal with the streets and the potholes? Like, really get into the subjects, not just, oh, we're going to make sure that this school, I mean, scratch that. These schools are not going to be fixed no time soon.
No, and
Let's
nobody's
stop
coming
talking
back.
about this. Yes, we need a budget. Yes, we need to bring, but what are we talking about? Safety. What does safety look like in the neighborhood? What does the stop sign? What are the signage? All the things that matter to help, not to enforce to lock more black and brown people, but to make sure that the ones that are there doing what needs to be done are safe. And then
And
the ones that don't have, that they're being taken care of so they don't have to steal.
right.
Because a lot of times people are stealing because they don't have.
That's true. That's very true. But I'm with you. I see the comments. And I believe that all the candidates should get together with whoever. I mean, like, if you got to go pick somebody up, meet at a centralized location in the first ward where everybody can get to, that's easily accessible, and just hammer it out and let the residents pick. Let the voters of the first ward pick, and get behind that one person. We don't need 8 people running for a seat to split that vote. And then somebody comes right in the back and gets it. That's what always happens. And it should be enough of that. And they should start working on that now. Don't wait until the last minute. So first ward general election is not until August. They need to be, I mean, if you got to have 3, 4, 5, 6 town halls with the first ward, narrow it down. We may go from 8 to 6 the first meeting, 6 to 4 the second meeting, and just keep going until you get that one candidate who you think
Yeah.
will best suit you in that ward. Because, like everyone says, and we know this, just common sense, what they need in the first ward may not be what's needed in the seventh ward.
Yep. That's how it is here.
So they need to handle that amongst themselves over there, without all of this input over here. I can't tell them. I mean, I got my picks,
Yeah.
but I don't stay in the first ward. And they need, someone from the first ward needs to step up and say, look, we all need to get together and we need to back one candidate. Boom, and that's it.
Now with the current guy, I don't know how to say his name. His first name's Leon, the guy that's
Ah,
currently in
I got
position.
that, Miss Jackson, the block clubs. I'm sorry, Anna, to cut you off.
The first guy for First Ward, where he lives at now, will his zone change?
Yes, he'll be in the third ward.
Okay, so that I remember when you said so. Ooh,
I had actually got it wrong first and said he was going to be in the second
second.
ward, and I had to correct myself. He's going to be
Quincy
in the
better
third.
watch his back.
It's I mean, the writing is already on the wall. They're gonna be nice to him because they may need him for a minute, but
Ooh,
in between that little stretch that Eva is
that'd be
gone, and
so horrible. Leon's running in Ward 3, and Quincy's running, and then Liddell goes and stands behind Lee.
Not that I mean, you don't know who gonna run against her.
You talk about the TikToks that'll come out of that. This is him in the meeting.
Hey, but it goes in full circle. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? All of that stuff that you did, and then you can see how they do him now. And he actually wants to go his way and vote his way. They get pissed off. But he does
But
give some beautiful
he should
speeches, and then he votes right with him every
he should
time.
have stayed true to Quincy first before he stayed true to anyone else. And if
Mhm,
Quincy been going down there all them years fighting for what wasn't right, he should have stayed in character.
mhm.
Because that's the when you leave your own character or who you are, you never come out right. If you stay true to who you are, then you're not lying. Because a
Right,
liar has to keep lying.
that's true. What did they say? What do you think of Anna? What do you think about Eva not knowing how to chair after how many years Winters Hall? I think what this is 6 years, 6, 7, 8 years for her. So what did you think about that, Anna? I agree.
Eva's a plant. They put her in there, and she's just. I mean, she doesn't know anything. If you see her when she doesn't even come to even know. I don't even think she reads any of the information. Because when she goes to debate against anyone, like if she goes against Tanya or if she goes against Dennis, she goes to ignorance. She goes to attack their character immediately. And for her to be an educator, it shocks me.
Right.
Because she can't even speak. She can't even speak on the resolution. She
And
can't even speak on, and she doesn't even question anyone. When they come up to that
none of a
podium,
question.
nothing ever. In all 6 years I've watched, I say I binged 4 years. I got to go further back.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot see a time other than when she was with the famous one that used to be before Priestley came. What was her name?
Kate Fields.
Kate Fields. But Kate Fields walked her through because all she did, the TikToks kind of show you what Eva was doing, eating. Starbucks and eating. I'm sorry. But I mean, like literally, that's all you saw her doing.
And that was funny. I seen Miss Jackson put it up here. Even said 2/3 members elect is everyone. She said, "So is that everyone?" I'm like, "Yep, 2/3 is everyone."
I wonder did she say that to give Quincy a kick to say you have to vote with us?
She was serious. She didn't know, dog.
Yeah,
She
she.
didn't know. She
That's
didn't
because
know.
they've been. But why are we talking?
She didn't
Why
know
are
what
they bringing
redlining was.
up? She said it wasn't even real.
She sure did.
Now
She sure
that
did.
right there, whew, I got started again.
No. I'm tired of this net. What? What you say, Mick?
The net. That's
What you
Eva buzzing around trying to hear what's going on.
Remember that post I sent you of Eva saying Eric Mays kind of makes me hate black? Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. And then I seen where they
Oh
said she didn't say that. The font was changed. I don't know if
no, but you know
I don't
what's
want to
real
talk about her.
disrespectful? It has nothing to do with race because anyone when she said the Amen crowd, was it the Amen crowd or the people with the Amen
Mhm.
area? Whatever she said, that right there,
No, it's when she called Jerry Ghetto.
oh yeah, I remember that. But I was just like, wow. And not one of them, like she should have been warned immediately.
She should have. A lot of them have done so much stuff that they need to be warned about, and they don't. They don't say anything.
When
I
she
mean, look
jumped
at the
up,
little shit that they put Tanya out for and all of the stuff that everybody else has done.
suspended Tanya, what she said when she wasn't even sitting
Mhm.
in her seat is the reason how y'all got her suspended. That is crazy. But
Yeah.
you sit up there every week. Well, not every week because she doesn't show up. And it's like you ever see her, it's like she starts the ball rolling to get everybody amped up and then she casually leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And
As
I
soon as
hate
she
the
open
fact,
her
Quintus,
mouth, you
that
know she gonna do something.
she stares. I mean, I know you don't see it because you're pretty much looking at everyone.
Now she
I'm
say I
sorry.
be looking
She
at her like I
stares
want to
at
fight.
you. She stares at 810.
Oh, she said I'll stare at her like I want to
No,
fight.
she's staring, and I'd be like, Why is she
Are
looking
you
right
talking
into
about
the
which
camera?
one? Who's staring at us?
Oh, Eva. She
Oh, I
stares
thought
right
you were
at
talking
us.
about Liddell because she be staring at me.
No, Liddell. Man, Liddell's probably on watching it live. That's why she says, I hear people talking. No, it's because you listening to it on because you can hear because I'm like, there's no way in the world. If you can't hear Eva say bitch, but you can hear 810 talking or coughing,
Mm-hmm.
then the only way that's happening, she's listening.
Right.
She got
That's true.
somebody with a fake page listening to 810.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Mickey, you got any comments before we get off?
No, ma'am.
he said, no, ma'am. I love having sister circle discussions with you on Friday, Anna, just to, wind down the evening.
Yeah.
I forgot to say, hey, Maurice. I think he was on here watching today. We
Oh,
gotta go.
wow.
We gotta go to Palaca, Florida, girl.
We
Hey,
could put a
Maurice.
voting thing on Flint Rebut and on 810 where people vote of what topics they're interested in.
Yeah, and we can start discussing those. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the sisters. And men, you can feel free. We're gonna put something up.
Yeah.
If y'all want to hear the sisters discuss some stuff, we may be able to help y'all out. You never know.
Sister Circle / man cave coming in the house.
There you go. Mickey he be a little man cave man. All right, Anna. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Don't forget your merch. Don't forget your merch.
Don't forget the merch. And then tonight at 8 o'clock we have Club Rich coming up. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m. we have is it Talking with Tanya. Is it Talking with Tanya? Did I get that right? Okay. So I just say Tanya with Tanya be on. Talking with Tanya at 10 a.m. And then she's on from 10 to 8. She gonna kill me. I'm just playing. Tanya's on tomorrow until she get done because I like her show. And
Yeah.
then we have the
7:15,
clubhouse
right?
tomorrow. Will start at 7:15, and Tony's already posted. He's gonna be doing old school tomorrow. He's taking requests right now on reboot from 7:15 to 8 o'clock. So we're gonna be jamming, getting ready, and then we're gonna kick off the clubhouse at 8. And then Sunday we got Sister Audrey at 5 o'clock. So we got 8, 10, 7 days a week. So we love y'all.
So Winters, we got to get on before 7:15. So at least 7:10.
Okay.
Because when well, anyone be able to
You
hear.
heard me say 10 to 8. Oops, sorry, Tanya. I love you.
Oh, she on there?
Yeah, she on here. She heard me.
Oh, she did write on here the email.
But she got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow, though. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good tomorrow. Which house will we be
Tell her
in?
I don't care how many times she reminds us of their ignorant behinds. Keep telling the story.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. So Anna, I'll let you take us out tonight.
Peace.
See y'all later, y'all.